morning everyone. So here we are left out with the topic of functions of marketing. So when the goods are actually transferred from the manufacturer to its ultimate users, there are a number of set of activities which are involved in completing that process, and such activities are known as marketing functions. But these marketing functions are divided into three basic categories, that is functions of exchange, physical supply and facilitating functions. Before starting with the topic, let me give you an outline to the chapter. Here in this chapter you will discuss about marketing, traditional and modern view, features of marketing, objectives of marketing, importance of marketing, different functions of marketing, the concept of selling and distribution, buying and assembling, transportation, storage and warehousing, and the last one, product planning and development. In this topic, you will come to know about the following key terms. We will discuss each and every term one by one. Need, want, demand, TCM, that is traditional concept of marketing, MCM, that is modern concept of marketing, concentration, dispersion, equalization, buying, assembling, purchase by inspection, purchase by sample, purchase by description, selling and distribution, transportation, storage and warehousing, place and time utility, market research, standardization, grading, packaging, branding, labeling, pricing, advertisement, salesmanship, financing, credit, risk taking and after sales services. First of all, we will discuss about the different functions of marketing. The basic functions of marketing are buying, selling, assembling, standardization, grading, branding, transportation, warehousing, financing, and market research. Now, these two terms, that is need and want, these are very familiar terms for commerce stream, as you people also learn them in the subject of economics. Rent or mortgage, car expenses, using public transport, gas, electricity, water, sewage, health insurance, phone, basic toiletries, child care, grocery items, loan repayment. So these are the needs which a common man has to bear in every month and has to complete it. Next we have wants. So wants are the things which we are able to satisfy with our purchasing power. Cable or satellite TV, usage of internet, computer and smartphone, eating of fancy food items like chips, cookies, coffee, anything organic and eating outside, using of beauty products, having subscription of magazines, Netflix, etc., going on a holiday, exchanging gifts and charitable donations. A need is something you have to have, something you can't do without. A good example is food. A want is something you would like to have. It is not absolutely necessary, but it would be a good thing to have it. Ice cream is a want. You don't really need to eat ice cream to survive. Some example of wants are things like designer clothing, upscale dining and sports car. Without a doubt, they are luxury items not necessities. When we compare a need and a want, so a need is something thought to be necessity or essential items required for life. Examples of needs: food, water and shelter. A want is something unnecessary but desired, or items which increase the quality of living. Examples: car stereo, MP3 player, designer clothes. Next, we will discuss about the concept of demand. These days, when you even scroll on Facebook or use your internet, you can have a variety of ads on dietitians. They give you nutrition, starving resources, or we can also have the demand of the doctors who are saving people from the pandemic, where the logo is not all superheroes wear caps, some wear scrubs. So we have demand according to the situations and conditions prevailing in the society. We define demand as the amount of some product that a consumer is willing and able to purchase at each price. The prices of related goods can also affect demand. For example, if you need a new car, the price of Honda may affect your demand for a Ford. 8 high demand products and niches of 2020 are CBD oils and products, eco-friendly products, natural skincare and cosmetics, specialty teas, diet fat products, subscription food services, probiotics, subscription orders and many more. Use of print ads on newspapers and magazines is a simple example of traditional marketing. Other example includes flyers that are put in mailboxes, commercials both on TV and radio, and billboards also. Let's have some real life example of traditional market from different categories mentioned above: Burger King, Google, magazines for women, business magazines, branded magazines like Hog, magazine of Harley Davidson, Zoo by Vodafone, billboard of Coca-Cola with straw, Pakka Indian marketing campaign by McDonald's. Traditional marketing focused on selling the products which were produced by company. Traditional market used mediums like flexboards, pamphlets, radio and television for advertising. Traditional market has been used and enjoyed by people all over the world. Traditional market used to think from company's point of view, as their whole focus was on selling the goods to the customer, no matter whether they required the goods or not. Traditional market is one dimensional, as the only target of it was to sell the goods for profit. So its approach where main focus is on profit making. Traditional media choices. We can do the traditional marketing with the help of yellow pages, direct mails, usage of magazines, newspapers, TV, internet, outdoor and radios. The top digital marketing professionals in India, along with their profiles: Saurav Jain, Mridul Kabra, Anant Narayan V, Prasant Naidu, Himanshu Arora, Lakshmipati Bhatt, Jitendra Vaswani, Janendra Singh. So these are very popular, famous and topmost professionals in the field of marketing. Also, we have a list of content marketing. There are few examples related to it. Coke's Share a Coke campaign, Buffer's open blog, Hootsuite and a game of Social Thrones, Microsoft and Stories, HubSpot's inbound marketing, McDonald's Question Time, GoPro and visual content. For example, Zomato is a restaurant finder mobile app available for 24 countries. The company uses humor liberally in its marketing strategy. In particular, it creates and shares images referencing popular culture, as this recent example spoofing an Oscar-nominated film shows. They are simple, they are creative, they are entertaining, and they prove that a minimalist approach can do the trick. It must be working because the company got 1.3 million followers on Twitter and the same on Facebook, and the app's been downloaded by hundreds of thousands of times. Another example, the manufacturer of Rolex watches has chosen to concentrate on the luxury segment of the watch market. So concentration is the first process of modern marketing. It refers to gathering of goods in large quantity at a small single point so that these goods can be effectively and economically distributed among the customers as per their requirements. An organization that adopts a concentration strategy chooses to focus its marketing efforts on one only very defined and specific market segment. We have so many brands with us who are involved in the process of concentration, like Rolex, Omega, Breitling, IWC, Patek Philippe, Panerai, Audemars Piguet, Tag Heuer, Jaguar LeCoultre, Cartier, and many more. So these are the topmost brand involved in the process of concentration. Let's have another example. Volvo Ecolabolaget, Sweden has positioned its automobile as the safest, and Daimler-Benz, Germany, manufacturer of Mercedes-Benz, has positioned its car as the best engineered. The dispersion completes the process of modern marketing because the goods produced and concentrated have no value unless these are properly distributed to the needed consumer. The goods or products assembled at a central place have to be distributed to the consumers. Some of the products are dispersed to manufacturers or processors, and the remaining goods are dispersed to the final consumers through a chain of wholesalers, retailers, agents, middlemen, etc. An example of a dispersion is throwing little pieces of paper all over a floor. For example, raincoats, umbrellas, sweaters, woolen cloaks, mufflers, etc. This equalization facilitates regular supply. Then transport brings equalization of supply place-wise, and warehousing enables equalization of supply time-wise. Concentration, dispersion, and equalization constitute the soul of marketing. The goods produced and concentrated in the markets have to be adjusted to meet the requirements of the people. Thus, the equalization is the process of adjustment of supply to the actual demand on the basis of time, quantity, and quality. It is performed through storage and transportation. Next, we will do now the marketing functions. We have three types of functions with us: functions of exchange, functions of physical distribution, and facilitating functions. Under the function of exchange, we will do buying, assembling, and selling. Physical distribution includes transportation and warehousing of inventory and handling of material. Facilitating functions includes financing, risk-taking, after-sale service, marketing research, standardization, grading, and many more. First of all, buying and assembling. Buying refers to the process of acquiring goods at the right price, at a right time, in right quantity, and from a right source of suppliers. Assembling refers to the activities of assembling units of industry where finished articles are brought out of assembly of various parts. For example, bicycle, laptops. Under public distribution system, that is PDM, sellers collect agricultural products which can be divided into two categories: food crops and cash crops. The food crops refer to rice, wheat, barley, maize, etc., while cash crops or commercial crops include tea, coffee, rubber, oil seeds, tobacco, etc. They are made available to blue card holders. Buying and assembling. In this, the products that the retailers buy for resale are selected as per the requirements and preferences of their customers. But in assembling, buying the necessary component parts and fitting those parts all together to make a product. Buying is the first step in the process of marketing. A manufacturer is required to buy raw materials for the production process. Similarly, a wholesaler has to buy goods to sell them to the retailer. A retailer has a direct link with the consumer, has also to buy goods to be sold to the latter. Thus, in all functions of exchange, one aspect is buying. Assembling starts after the goods have already been purchased. It's a function separate from buying. Assembling involves creation and maintenance of the stock of goods purchased from different sources. Usually, goods are not purchased from the different sellers. They would have to be collected, then assembled at one place under the control of the buyer. We can here take the example of barter system also. A has 100 kg of rice and B has 50 kg of wheat. Here A needs wheat and B needs rice. They agree to exchange 50 kg of rice and 25 kg of wheat upon mutual understanding. But the term sales refers to the exchange of goods or commodities against money or service. It is the only revenue gathering function in an organization. It has formed an important part in business throughout history. Even prior to the introduction of money, people used to exchange goods in order to fulfill the needs, which is known as barter system. Conditions of sales. There are two parties involved in the transaction, the seller and the buyer. Seller is the provider of goods or services, but the buyer is the purchaser in exchange of money. Then the conditions of sales, the suitability in which sales can be effected. There are two parties involved in the transaction, the seller and the buyer. Seller is the provider of goods or services and the buyer is the purchaser in exchange of money. Seller of goods has to transfer the title of ownership of the item to the buyer upon an agreed price. A person who sells goods or services on behalf of seller is known as salesman or saleswoman. Next concept is distribution. Distribution is the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption to the end consumer or business. Distribution could be of the following two types: direct distribution and indirect distribution. It can be defined as expanding or moving from one place to another without changing direction Distribution is the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption to the end consumer or business. Distribution can be of two types: direct distribution and indirect distribution. Let us take an example. Bata has no distribution channel. It sells its product directly to the end consumers. So this is direct distribution. Expanding or moving from one place to another without changing direction or stopping. Then we can take the example of LG. LG sells its product from the factory to the dealers, and then it reaches the consumers through dealers. In indirect distribution, it can be defined as means that are not directly caused by or resulting from something. In storage and warehousing, it's another part of a function of marketing. Storage is an important marketing function which involves holding and preserving goods from the time they are produced until they are needed for consumption. A warehouse may be defined as a place used for the storage or accumulation of goods. Last is the function of storage can be carried out successful with the help of warehouses used for storing the goods. When we discuss about the functions of warehousing, the very first important function is storage. This is the basic function of warehousing. Surplus commodities, or the commodities which are not of regular use, which have to be used in later period, are not needed immediately and they have to be stored in warehouses or godowns. They can be supplied as and when needed by the customers. Second is price stabilization. Warehouses play an important role in the process of price stabilization. It is achieved by the creation of time utility by warehousing. Fall in the prices of goods when their supply is in abundance and rise in their prices during the slack season are avoided. So slack season here is a season where there is a fall in the prices of good but supply is in large quantity, and when the prices rises because of the demand of the product, such price stabilization cannot be handled. Last function of warehousing is risk bearing. When the goods are stored in warehouses, they are exposed to many risks in the form of theft, deterioration, exploration, fire, etc. Warehouses are constructed in such a way as to minimize these risks. Contract of bailment operates when the goods are stored in warehouses. Contract of bailment is the time period for which the goods are kept in the store. The owner or the person who is in the possession of the goods have to pay some amount to the person who preserved the goods. He is known as bailee, and under the contract of bailment, that accommodation price for using the godown or for using the warehouse is given. Then we have the concept of after sale service. These are all processes that come after the act of selling itself, such as contact via email, sending purchasing coupons on customers' birthdays, discount for a second purchase, and many more. When you purchase a new car, there could be after sale services such as help and advice on how to set up or how to use the features, free 6-week checkup services, telephone call from the dealership a week after the sale to check everything is okay, invites to special events for previous customers. So these all are few examples of after sales services which are provided and which is one of the main part of facilitating function of marketing. So these will all the different functions of marketing. Thank you, class. Read the chapter thoroughly so that you can come to know about the different